Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, parents don't need to be certified to teach their children to drive, says Island Traffic Authority. The Island Traffic Authority and the Jamaica Constabulary Force are seeking to clarify that only persons or businesses offering driving instructions for a fee must be certified and licensed. They indicated that Regulation 168, Paragraph 2D of the Road Traffic Regulations 2022 sets out the provision. It states that a person who provides the services of a driving instructor without the requirement for a fee or payment shall not be required to be certified under this part. The authority notes that this provision includes parents or guardians who wish to teach their children to drive. However, persons or institutions offering driving instruction services for a fee or payment must obtain the necessary certification and license from the Island Traffic Authority pursuant to Regulation 168. While certified instructors and licensed driving schools offer formal training, the law does not prohibit parents or guardians from offering instruction as long as no financial compensation is involved and the level of training meets road safety and the competency standards, the authority states. It is important to note that any training provided, whether by a certified instructor or a parent, is thorough enough to prepare the learner to meet the required standards to pass the road code, yard and road tests. The authority says it acknowledges that there may have been some confusion regarding this aspect of the law and wish to reiterate that persons who experience issues on the road should take note of the individual stops and report the matters themselves to the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch or the Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau of the Jamaica Constabulary Force via email at psteb@jcf.gov.jm and iprobe@jcf.gov.jm respectively. We encourage all prospective drivers and instructors to abide by all other provisions of the law as it relates to operating on the nation's roadways. Westmoreland taxi operator charged for chopping death of jerk vendor. The police in Westmoreland have charged the taxi operator who fatally chopped popular jerk vendor Rodway Powell, otherwise called Jerky, who was a passenger in his cab during a dispute. Chadwin Ellis, 36, of Geneva District, Greenchill, Westmoreland, was charged with murder on Saturday. His court date is being finalized. Reports from the police are that about 3 p.m. on Wednesday, February 26, Ellis and Powell got into an argument that became physical. It is reported that the dispute was over fare. It is alleged that Powell held onto the keys to Ellis's taxi. In an attempt to retrieve the keys, Ellis pulled a machete from the back of the vehicle, which he used to inflict multiple chop wounds to Powell's body before escaping the area on foot. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Powell was seen lying on the ground in blood with chop wounds to his upper body. He was assisted to hospital where he succumbed while undergoing treatment. Ellis was taken into custody and subsequently charged on Saturday, March 1, following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. 2 men charged with murder after vendor beaten in Duncan's Trelawny dies. 2 Trelawny men have been charged with murder over the death of a man who succumbed to injuries in hospital after being beaten by a group in Duncan's. Charged are 58-year-old shopkeeper Franklin Brown, otherwise known as Johnny, of Duncan's, and the 26-year-old Nicholas Thomas of Logwood, both in Trelawny. Dead is 61-year-old vendor Milton Morris of Kroll District in Duncan's. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 10:45 p.m. on Friday, January 31, Brown and Thomas were among a group of people who beat Morris during a dispute. Morris received several injuries and was hospitalized. The injured man later succumbed to his injuries on Sunday, February 23. An investigation was launched into Morris's death, and both the men were subsequently taken into custody. They were charged on Saturday, March 1, after they were pointed out on an identification parade. Their court date is being finalized. 2 men fatally shot in alleged police confrontation in Old Harbor Bay. 2 men were fatally shot by the police on Saturday during an alleged confrontation on Terminal Road, Old Harbor Bay, St. Catherine. One of the deceased has been identified as 28-year-old Damar Muirhead. The incident is under investigation by the Independent Commission of Investigations. Reports are that around 3:40 a.m., the police, acting on information, went to Terminal Road in Old Harbor Bay, where they observed 4 men near a Jamaica Public Service power barge. The men allegedly opened fire on the police, who returned the fire. 2 of the men were shot while the other 2 escaped. According to the police, 2 illegal firearms were recovered from the injured men. They were taken to hospital, where they were pronounced dead. Illegal gun seized in Temple Hall during police snap parade. The St. Andrew North Police this afternoon seized an illegal firearm in Temple Hall, the 9th such seizure since the start of the year. Information reaching the news is that a police team carried out a snap raid in the area about 1:55 p.m. The firearm, a Smith & Wesson pistol with a serial number affixed and a magazine containing 6 9mm rounds, was found. No arrest was made. The police are appealing for information about illegal firearms. Persons are asked to call the Constant Spring Police Criminal Investigation Branch at 876-924-1421 or Crime Stop at 311. Druggist charged for shooting in Westmoreland. The police in Westmoreland on Saturday charged a man for shooting at a man who tried to stop him from stealing lumber. Charged with shooting with intent is 50-year-old Calvin Saman, otherwise called the druggist, of Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland. His court date is being finalized. The incident happened on Hudson Street on Saturday, February 15. The police report that about 11 p.m., the complainant was walking along the roadway when he observed the Saman and another man stealing lumber. According to the police, the complainant intervened and tried to stop the men, during which someone pulled a firearm from his waistband and opened a fire at him. The complainant ran in a bid to escape injury. A report was made to the police, and on Friday, February 28, the police carried out an operation during which the suspect was apprehended and taken into custody. He was subsequently charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney on March 1. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.